Esa casa está ubicada en un barrio, en medio de una gran ciudad. Al mismo tiempo, hay una epidemia mundial.
You were watching this and you say, I love Jonas Mekas. Why?
Why I love Jonas Mekas?
Yeah.
Because I like the way how he tried to live after he left Europe. One of the main questions, because it was not easy, he knew in which country he was, America. And at one moment he said, I wrote an article or a text or an interview, perhaps it was a part of his diary, and he said, okay, now the question is how I can live in the camp of the enemy. And the solution that he found, the way how he took a camera and tried to attest about some part of his reality and tried to define his posture, the aesthetic that he creates, the community, the open community that he creates, for me is very interesting, important and pertinent in terms of politics and aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
And even for now.
There is, of course, what he has been doing is a little bit different what you have been doing. But at the same time, he has always had a kind of interest in the beauty which is around us, and we don't pay attention toward that. In your films, even though that they are extremely political in a very strong sense of the word, there is also a politics of beauty, so to speak. You put attention towards the relationship with nature, the landscape, and the characters. So can you tell us a little bit? There is a connection with Mekas for me. But why you are always so, you paid a lot of attention. I remember even the ways that you could pay attention toward the hands of the subjects and so on. Not only the animals, the insects, the plants, the ecology of the place.
Yeah, I think we can I think explain by different way, but right now I think about two reasons perhaps. One is to try to make some connection between elements which participate of a situation or an event. So you can have the main action of a human being, for example, you know, but is the gesture of a teenager or an underage people or children take place in a place, you know, occupied by different elements. And I think it's interesting to not focus only on the main gesture, you know, but try to create some connection with the elements around which participate of the event. How a gesture occupy time and space, you know. And if you make some connections, some images between some few elements, sometimes very which appear as no importance, you know, but when you connect this with the main gesture or just something like that, suddenly something appears for me more important than only the focus of one word, of one gesture, you know. It's very interesting, and in the same time it's a way to destroy a kind of hierarchy between this old concept and dualism between nature and culture. I don't believe in this kind of dualism, you know, and about the hierarchy that human being can construct between the event, between the things, you know, mineral, what we call before nature, you know, and what was the culture. So it's to make attention about something totally forgotten, a trash or garbage or something like that. It's a way also to try to create a new plan of immanence and defend another conception of the relation between the human and the earth, but also, of course, between the human themselves. So I'm not against. I'm against the idea of domination of the human on the nature, or the. Mm-hmm. That means the domination of human on human, you know. So I try to work about that since my beginning. You know, it's
yes.
a criticize about the concept of the traditional concept of humanism.
And
so it's interesting to work also in the same time about what is human and what is non-human, mm-hmm. you know, and work about this kind of different perspective, you know. So it's a kind of we could speak about a kind of cinema multi-perspectivist, you know.
I understand. Sylvain, there is something which is connected with all your work. There is a kind of figure which repeats as such and organized symbolically, and that concept is the immigrant. You have began paying attention to people coming from different areas of the African or sometimes Asian towards les éclats. And now you went to near Morocco. In fact, it's Morocco, but it's a place taken by the Spanish, and you're in Melilla. So how you are changing places? Why you have now gone towards Morocco before you were on the north of France, and then you were in Paris checking those people when they are, what they are doing. So why the immigrant is the main figure of your work?
It's a big question. I think the question of immigration is a question we can describe and give some indication of the state of the contemporary society right now. Or in the same time give some indication of the state of democracy. it's a figure. It's not a figure of exception. I don't want to think like that. But it's a figure which crystallizes a lot of questions. And of course, the question of immigration is not only concern not only the migrant, but also all the people in democracy. You know, the state built some policies about immigration, so everybody are responsible about this kind of policy. So I try to understand how this kind of policy works. What is the consequences of these policies on the ground, on the people, on the story, on the space. So I began the work in north of France, this town very famous, Calais. Before I went in this place where I had made 2 feature films and I don't know, perhaps 10 or 12 short films, you know. But before I went in this place, I went for the first time in Melilla, before 2006. And I wanted to work on this place. Why? Because in 2005 I heard about some event that happened in this place. 15 people die, you know, shot by the police, by the Moroccan police. And I was very shocked and I wanted to understand what's happened in this place. So I went on the place. I saw the big barbed wire, you know, and I started to meet some people in the forest in Melilla. But at this time I haven't enough money to continue my work. So I work in France and I start to work in the north. In the same time, I start to develop a project to find some money and funding to come back in Morocco, in this Spanish town, Melilla, which is located in Morocco. So now I continue the work, you know. Of course, at the beginning when I wrote my project, it was a short. I was supposed to. I didn't expect that the film, or the time to work about the question of immigration was so long. But I take time to try to make something that I felt necessary.
Hello, thank you for coming. Yes, I will be very brief because we have a Q&A and the film is a little bit long, so thank you for coming. It's the follow of my main work about the policies about immigration in Europe. I try to understand how these kind of policies work by a kind of studies of the consequences of these kind of policies on the ground in different parts of Europe. So for this film is...
Are you happy with this?
Yes.
Sylvain, let us think a little bit about what is exactly as a political subject the immigrant. You know, this is really your obsession.
Yeah, I think I think when you work about something, you work in the same thing about yourself, you know. So as a lot of people, a part of my family, we can find some immigrant in my family, you know, from Italy, from another side, more dark that I don't want to speak.
Yeah.
And also, so to work about this notion of migration is a way to work about my own identity, you know, and to define my identity, make a kind of confrontation with alterity, you know. And also, I can say that I have a little knowledge of the migration. It's not the migration from a country to another country, but it's migration of a town from another town. You know, I felt the necessity to leave my native town, Lyon, to go in Paris, you know. And of course, it's a short trip, you know, but in the same time, it's a very long trip, and I found a lot of things in the trip from the young people from Morocco to Europe. I think about a lot. I was in confrontation with a lot of memories that I can have about the trip that I made when I was young, from a town to another one, you know. And this notion.
No. I was thinking in terms of that, because there is something extremely specific of your work. The way that you go towards your subjects, your characters, is to become one of them. You are among them. It's like the camera is an entity alive among the characters you are following their lives. So how is your method? Because you're doing the films alone. You do the sound, you do the editing, you do of course the camera work, and how is that? Why you're alone? What kind of method? Because for me, the mise en scène is absolutely it depends on your body. It depends on your body, that your body is among what you film. I don't know if you understand me.
Yeah, clearly, yes. We start the interview with Jonas Mekas. You know, he worked alone also with a camera. It's a way for him to. It was a medium that he chose to try to define his position in the world and to try to make some connection and a relation with some part of the reality and himself, and work about the past and the present. You know, it's the same thing for me. So when I went on the place, I try to be in connection with the subject that I would like to meet. I'm not a part of them, you know. My position is very clear. I'm a filmmaker, you know. It's my position. I went on the place to make a film, but I want to understand in the same time a lot of things, you know, which which participate in a sense of my story, you know. It's a way also to work about my story and about my present, you know. It's why, you know, when I make a lot of images about some situation of the present, but also about some aspect of the past that you can find in some things, you know, in a blanket, a new blanket, an old blanket, all images that I can find in the garbage, you know. It's a way to indicate the work on the past, you know. So the film are like a kind of. When I went in a place, you know, I consider always a place as a palimpsest, you know, and to work on the palimpsest of a place, it's a work about my own palimpsest in the same time, you know. It's an investigation. Investigate a part of reality is a way to investigate, reinvestigate a part of his own reality. So when I try to be very connected with the people, understand their rhythm, understand their condition of life, understand their gesture, it's a way also to try to understand me, how I can move in this place, and how I moved before in some other place, you know. It's really a new concept of time. It's what Benjamin called the dialectical images. I work about this kind of stuff. I build some dialectical images, not only during the editing, also during the shooting. When I shoot something very present with the guys in front of me, in the same time, I shoot something about the past. You know, I destroy the category of history. I destroy the traditional concept of time, very linear like that. I try to convocate the past in the present. I try to deconstruct everything.
And
so to be very attentive with the people, it's a way also to be very attentive to myself. So it's why it's very important to be very respectful of the people. It's important to don't have a view from the top with the people.
Yeah.
It's important to have a plan of equality, you know.
Yeah, I understand, and that maybe explain why there are so many long angle shots towards the buildings, the different yes, buildings from the place. You always are looking from very, very below, like if the camera and the people are in the same level. That's the feeling that we have when we watch a film. There is
yes,
something.
and you saw, you know, during the process, the time of the shooting was 3 years. Not all the time, you know, but the duration of the shooting was 3 years. But in the 3 years, I was lost many times. You know, sometimes I shoot, I was the people, I didn't know where I was supposed to go, you know. I didn't know. I was suddenly, you know, you're not on your way, you know. You are in confrontation with some part totally unknown, you know, you're totally lost. You make some images and again some images, and sometimes the same motive I had shot the same motive many times, you know, and again and again and again and again, you know, and step by step, more and more, you know, you precise the intention, something appear, you know. So at the beginning, you have some aesthetical or political hypothesis, you know, like a work in human sciences, you know. But after, during the shooting is the work, you know, and I'm totally lost. I don't know at all what am I supposed to do, you know. And I'm not the filmmaker, or I'm not a guy who determinate everything, you know. Okay, I'm here in this place, you know. Sometimes I let a part of irrational appear, you know. I'm lost. I don't know in which destination I'm supposed to go to, you know. So I'm totally involved in something a bit strange. Sometimes it's painful, you know, and then sometimes it's very interesting because you are open to something new, you know. You can make some new bifurcation that you didn't expect before. So the time of the shooting is a very strange time. Very strange time. It's a strange experience. A very strange experience. It's an experience, a confrontation with the unknown, you know. Sometimes something very new, that you know, and sometimes that you didn't know at all, you know. It's a very strange experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Watching a film of yours is always a strange and intense experience, I think. What do you think? Yes?
Perhaps.